Hi, I'm Tiffany with New Perspective Fitness, and I'll be guiding you through a full body stretch as part of our Master Movers series. This session is designed to release tension, improve flexibility, and promote relaxation. It's a perfect way to start your day feeling centered or wind down after a workout or a long day. We're going to begin seated on a stability ball, so grab yours and let's get moving. Begin seated on your stability ball. And if you have a wide base of support, that's going to help you feel more stable and strong. If you have a more narrow stance, that'll be more challenging to your balance. For our first movement, we're going to mobilize our neck with semicircles. Our shoulders are down away from our ears and our palms are just relaxed on our lap. And I'd like you to drop your right ear towards your shoulder, and then you'll look down towards the lap and floor. Move to the left, and then continue moving from side to side. So with this movement, we are focusing on releasing tension in the neck and the shoulders, and we're improving flexibility and reducing stiffness. Please don't be alarmed if you hear snack, crackle, pop in your neck. A lot of times that's just tightness, and this exercise should be very gentle and it shouldn't be causing any pain. Semicircles are a wonderful way to promote better blood flow to the cervical spine, that's our neck, and it supports overall neck health and mobility. Let's do one more here. Now center your gaze, and we're going to take our neck from side to side. So while we keep our shoulders and our hips square to the front of the room, I would like you to take your chin and imagine we can get our chin over our right shoulder. So please look to the right side of the room. And now center and look to the left, and we'll hold there for a few moments. And center. Continue at your own pace, looking to the right. And then the left. As you turn your head from side to side, this helps maintain and enhance the motion of our neck, and it prevents stiffness, and it helps keep our joints nice and flexible. And by practicing moving from right to left, we're releasing tightness in our muscles, and this is reducing discomfort, and it promotes better circulation. Center your gaze, and we're moving on to an upper trap stretch. So we'll all take our right hand behind us, so we're in internal rotation. And I would like you to drop your left ear towards your shoulder. Now we're already starting to feel a stretch on the right side of our neck, our upper trap. To make this an even deeper stretch, take your left hand and apply gentle pressure to your head. Breathe deeply. So stretching the upper trap muscles releases tightness and stiffness. And this really can help release tension in the neck and the shoulders. Let's release our left hand and return to neutral. Now we're taking our left arm behind us, that's internal rotation of the shoulder. This is to keep the left shoulder down. Gently drop your right ear towards the right shoulder. And then for more, to deepen this stretch, place your right hand over your head. We are stretching our left upper trap. And relaxing tight upper traps may reduce tension headaches caused by muscle strain and poor posture. Breathe deeply into this stretch. Release your right hand and return to neutral. We're now moving on to a tricep stretch. So taking the right arm up to the ceiling, I want you to pat your upper back. And then we are going to take our left hand and slightly pull our elbow in. To deepen the stretch even more, I'm pressing the back of my head into my right arm that's behind me. And also think of tucking your chin just slightly as we do this stretch. So stretching the triceps also affects the shoulders and the upper back, and it helps to counteract tightness caused by slouching or long hours of sitting. Slowly release your left and right arm down, and then take that left arm up. Let's pat the middle of our back, the center, and then take your right arm, pull the elbow in slightly, and press your head slightly back and keep your chin tucked. By keeping the triceps nice and flexible, it helps to prevent strains and injuries, especially during activities requiring repetitive arm motions. All right, now release our arms down. We're now moving into seated hip circles just to wake up that lower body. So I want you to begin moving in a circular direction. Seated hip circles on the stability ball are great for the hips because they're improving flexibility, they're increasing mobility, and we're strengthening the muscles around the hips and the lower back. We're also improving balance and posture by engaging our core muscles since we're on this unstable surface. Now let's switch the direction that we're moving. Hip circles enhance awareness and control of our pelvic movements, and it just supports overall stability. All right, now we're moving on to our shoulders. I'd like you to come down onto the mat with me using the stability ball. So we're placing the stability ball out in front of us, and your foot positioning is really what feels best for you. So if you'd like your toes tucked under, that's fine, or you could have your feet flat. For our hands, we're going to have our palms facing one another. So you can see that my thumbs are up. And what this does is it encourages external rotation of the shoulders and allows for a greater range of motion, and it also minimizes stress on our shoulders. So our movement sequence is to use this ball as just a nice guide, and we're slowly stretching through the shoulders and the thoracic spine. Now gently come out of this, releasing, and we're going to do 2 more. So I want you to press the ball forward, and we're looking down at the mat, stretching the arms out. And then gently come on up. So as we do this move, we're really activating the serratus anterior, and we're stretching through the shoulders and the thoracic spine, the middle of the back. Now hold right here and breathe deeply. Keep your spine nice and long. Slowly exit this pose. And at this time, we're going to just get rid of the stability ball, and when we come back, we'll be working with our strap. We're now moving on to standing chest expansion. And for this one, we're going to grab our stretching strap. So with our stretching strap, we can make it about half of its size, and we're placing this behind our back. Now, based on your shoulder mobility, you may want a wide grip with your hands. If you want a tighter, deeper stretch, walk your hands closer together. So from here, I want you to keep your rib cage down. Try not to puff through your chest too much. That'll give you a false sense of flexibility with this stretch. We really want the flexibility to come through your chest and shoulders. We are going to extend the arms away from the body. So we're working shoulder extension and then dynamically come back in. So let's do a few of these. So we're just lifting the arms away from the back of the thighs and butt, and then slowly return. So by expanding the chest and pulling the shoulders back, this movement helps combat rounded shoulders and it promotes better spinal alignment. We're enhancing shoulder mobility by stretching the anterior deltoids and the biceps. And we're making this extremely beneficial for overhead movements. So activities like swimming or racket sports, we need a lot of flexibility for those activities. Now go back and hold this stretch. Breathe deeply. If you want the stretch to be deeper, you may walk your hands closer together. This stretch also encourages deeper breathing by opening up the rib cage and allowing more space for lung expansion. And this is extremely beneficial during activities that require a lot of endurance, such as walking or cycling. And release. We're now moving down onto the mat for half kneeling hip flexor stretch. So for this stretch, we don't need any equipment. I would like you to step your right foot forward. Now, to really feel the benefit of this stretch, I want you to pay attention to my pelvis. We are going to go into a posterior pelvic tilt. So the best way I can describe that is try to clench and squeeze your butt cheeks, and that's going to cause your low back to flatten. When you do that movement, hopefully you're feeling a deep stretch in the knee that's down on the ground, in the front of the hip, down the quad. So tight hip flexors can really pull on the lumbar spine or low back, causing discomfort. So stretching these muscles in the front of the hip can really alleviate lower back pain. Now let's go ahead and return to neutral, and then we'll switch our legs. So we'll bring our left leg forward. And now I want you to squeeze your glutes, and then that will cause your spine to go into that posterior pelvic tilt where your low back is flattening. This stretch really helps to encourage blood flow to the hip and the pelvic region, and it supports recovery and it reduces stiffness. Again, you're feeling the stretch in the front of the hip and the quad of the leg that's down. All right, let's release. We're now moving on to our shoulders, and we're going to be executing a kneeling one-arm cross-body stretch for the back of our shoulders. We're on the mat, and you can start in the all fours position with me. Let's take our right arm under. Now our right arm is scooping under and our palm is up, and then simultaneously, you're gonna stretch your left arm out in front of you. Now, you don't need any extra equipment here, but if you're fairly tight, some people may want to have a yoga block that they could rest their head on. Now, I don't need the yoga block, so I'm gonna show you the stretch by just taking my right arm underneath and stretching my left arm out in front of me. We're trying to feel the stretch on the shoulder of the right arm. And you're really in charge of how much tension you allow and how deep the stretch is based on the placement of your body and shoulder. Slowly come out of this stretch, and then we'll go over to the other side. So let's start with our right arm out in front of us, and the left arm is going to come underneath, and then stretch the right arm out, and then just feel this nice deep stretch on your rear deltoid. So we're feeling this in the back of the shoulder on that left arm. And slowly exit that stretch. We're now moving on to Cobra back extension for opening up our chest, and we're also strengthening the low back, where we're going to do lowers. So join me down on the mat. We're in this prone position. Now, to ensure that we're not overactivating our glute muscles, I have my toes pointed, and I'm not going to allow my feet to pop up off of the mat. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, and while keeping your hips down, you are going to extend through your chest, head and neck, and I need you to look at the wall in front of you or even skyward if you have that range of motion available to you. So go ahead and extend through the arms and look up. And now slowly lower down as I count down from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that again. So we're going to press through the arms, extending through the elbows if you can. Your hips must stay down, and you're either looking at the wall in front of you or skyward. Lower down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more repetition. Exhale as you press up and look up, and you're breathing in that top position, and hold that top position until we start lowering down on the count of 10. Press up. Lower down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Excellent. So at this time, we're now going to come into high plank, and then we'll shift into downward facing dog. So our hands are shoulder width apart, and our feet are tucked under. From high plank, you are going to shift the hips up. Your heels may or may not touch the mat. Don't move your hands to try to get your heels to touch. Everyone looks different here. Now, while we're holding downward facing dog, I want you to bend one knee as you press the opposite heel into the mat or towards the mat. It may not touch, and then alternate sides. So we're feeling a deep stretch in the calf muscle of the heel that is driving down to the mat as the opposite leg is bent. And this is a great way to stretch our hamstrings and our calves. All right, from here, go ahead and return to high plank, and then slowly come down onto your knees. So at this time, we're gonna take a quick water break, and when we come back, we'll be using our stretching strap down on the mat to finish out this series. Welcome back. We're down on our mat and we're going to be working with our stretching strap. Our first stretch is the prone quadricep stretch. Your quads are the front of your thighs. We are going to loop our right foot with our stretching strap, and then I want you to lay on your stomach. We're going to use our stretching strap, and it's over our shoulder as we pull our heel towards our butt. So we're stretching our right quad, and you can lay your forehead down in your arms. And to deepen this stretch, I want you to think of contracting and keeping your right thigh down on the mat. And everyone's knee flexibility is different. So some of us can get our right heel fairly close to our butt and others are far away, and that's okay. We're all in our own journey with our flexibility. And just breathe deeply here in this prone position. Now let's slowly release, and we're going to take the strap off of our right foot, and then we'll move it to our left. This is the hardest part, just getting into position, but it's very beneficial for us to be prone for this stretch. So we're taking this strap on our left foot and it's over our shoulder. Remember that tip to keep your thigh pressing down into the mat, and then you're just using the strap to pull our foot in closer. That's working knee flexion, and it stretches the front of the thigh. And then once you're in position, go ahead and rest your head down into your hands. Great, go ahead and release your heel from your glute and come on up. We're now moving into supine, which means on our back, figure 4 stretch. So let's continue to use our stretching strap here. I want you to lie down on your back with me. And we are going to cross our right leg up to our left thigh. So this is the start of the stretch. Now, using the stretching strap, I have it doubled up. We're going to lift our left foot, and I want you to loop this strap behind the left thigh. And you're pulling your left thigh in closer towards your body, towards your chest. Try to be relaxed through the shoulders. And what we're stretching is your right piriformis muscle. As we hold this stretch, I would like you to circle your left ankle complex. So begin circling your ankle and move your ankle in the same direction. And now change the direction of your circle. And now stop the circle, and I want you to point the toes and then flex. So point the toes away from your body and then pull the toes to your nose. Point the toes away, pull toes to nose. One more each. Great. Let's put our left foot down, followed by our right. And now we'll set up for the other side. Bring your left foot up. Take your stretching strap and loop it behind your right thigh. And we're lifting our right foot up, and we're deepening the stretch on your left piriformis muscle, and you're working external rotation on the left side. Relax through the shoulders. And let's start making a circle with our right foot. So we're just doing a nice ankle circles here. And now change the direction of the circle. Let's point the toes and then flex the foot. Point and flex. So we're pointing the toes away from the body and then pulling the toes to the nose. Let's do one more. Great. At this time, we are going to take one end of the stretching strap, and I'd like you to loop the right foot. Now, if you're fairly tight, we're moving into a hamstring stretch here. You may keep your opposite knee, your left knee bent, or you may straighten the left leg for a deeper stretch. As we do this hamstring stretch on the right side, we are avoiding shaking. So when we stretch, we should feel tension, but our legs should not be shaking. The placement of your hand is really what feels best for you. A lot of clients like to keep their hands up by their foot, but you can also have your hands farther down if that's better for your shoulders, if that helps you feel more relaxed. There's multiple loops on many stretching straps, so you can play with the best placement of your hands based on your body. You're feeling the stretch in the back of the thigh with this stretch. Now, keeping your shoulders and hips square, we're going to open our right leg to the side. I like to have my left arm down to help keep my upper body grounded as I open into this inner thigh adductor stretch. Now slowly center your leg, and I'm going to hold the stretching strap in my left hand. And again, keeping your shoulders and hips square, try to keep your right foot up by your head as best you can. I want you to slowly take your right leg slightly across your midline. Now, when you do this, you should feel a stretch on the outside of the thigh, and you might even feel this behind the back of the knee and even into the calf muscle. And we're just breathing deeply. Shoulders and hips are square. We're not rotating or lifting up through your right hip or buttock area. A way that a lot of people will want to cheat here is by letting their right foot float down towards the ground, but try to keep your right foot up by your head as best you can. Good. Now let's release the stretching strap from our right leg. We are looping our left foot, right at the arch of the foot. All right. And this is our hamstring stretch. So we're stretching the back of the thigh on the left side. Remember your arm placements. You can have your arms low if that feels best on your shoulders, or you could walk your hands up the strap. Breathe deeply. Remember, each stretch is below our pain threshold, and we don't want any shaking. I tend to see a lot of shaking once we start working in our legs, especially these 3 stretches. So if your body's shaking, you just need to release on that stretch. Let your foot be farther away from your head. Hold on to the strap with your left arm only. And now we're allowing our left leg to fall open into that inner thigh adductor stretch. And we're keeping our right hip and shoulder down. So having your right arm out to the side to counter balance our left leg stretching is a really good choice. Now center your left leg. We're going to hold onto the stretching strap with our right arm. Our left arm should be down and anchored, and we're slightly taking our left leg across our midline. And it's very important we keep our hips down. We don't want to rotate or lift through the gluteal on this left side. No shaking. And as long as you're not shaking, try to keep your foot up by your head. You're feeling the stretch on the outside of the thigh, maybe even behind the knee and even the calf muscle, the lower back of the leg. It really just depends on where you're tight. Go ahead and release your stretching strap. And at this time, our knees are going to be bent and your arms are going to be about 45 degrees away from your body in a low V. And please allow your knees to fall open as the bottoms of your feet connect. And this is called supine butterfly. And it's just a beautiful way to open up our groin area and allow gravity to stretch our inner thighs. This is a restorative pose, and we can focus on deep breathing as we hold this stretch. So on the inhalation, try to fill your belly with air. And as you exhale, let that belly fall and contract. To really allow your body to relax, feel free to close your eyes. Be sure that your shoulders are down away from your ears. And try to feel heavy in your body as relaxation pours over you. Now slowly bring your knees in. You can use your hands to assist that. And then let's go ahead and straighten our legs out one at a time. And allow your feet to externally rotate. That's going to feel really natural on your hips. And then take your arms over your head, and your palms should be up to the ceiling. And we're in full body stretch. Imagine someone is pulling at your wrists, and you're lengthening and feeling traction through your spine. And now slowly, let's go ahead and bring our arms down by our sides and roll on to one side. And I want you to take just a couple of breaths in this sideline position. Support your head. And now go ahead, and I want you to sit up and join me in easy seated pose. And thank you so much for joining me today for this full body stretch. I'm Tiffany with New Perspective Fitness, and I'll catch you next time.